In the Toho project, there are many characters that have backstories that aren't fully explored. However, if there is one part of the Toho project that consistently has character exploration, it's the manga series. The manga series characters tend to be more explored directly than most within the Toho project. This is why Miyoi Okunoda is interesting on so many levels. Most Toho mangas structured like Lotus Eaters tend to be a fake out in some manner. We can see this in Wild and Horned Hermit, and how Zashiki-Warashi was, spoiler, an Oni the entire time, which was hinted throughout the manga. Miyoi, however, hasn't been really discussed by people. People just assume her to be innocent, despite the many hints that she may not be so innocent as seen on first glance. But I would assume this is because Miyoi's situation seems more complicated than just innocent or guilty to begin with. So, if we're going to talk about how Miyoi is more than people think, we should first talk about how her ability interfaces with the rest of Toho lore. Her ability is that of manipulating drunken people's memories in particular. On the surface, this ability might be pretty tame compared to other abilities within the canon of the Toho project, but, you have to remember, there is something about this ability that makes Yukari Yakumo, a sage of Gensokyo, actively avoid Miyoi instead of dropping by. I believe this to be for two reasons. 1. Miyoi's ability has demonstrated the ability to work on anyone and everyone, including yokai. That begs the question on what is happening to Suika and the others when they are around Miyoi, as they clearly get drunk. The second reason is even more simple. Remember where Miyoi is? In the middle of the human village, which is where the humans that give Gensokyo form are. If those humans are ever altered, Gensokyo itself would be altered with it. Zune himself stated that Sanshoku Geidantai means something of a violent invasion, even if Mamazu coined the term. In general, a major theme of the work is forgetting important things, such that even Reimu Hakure forgets a lot of Miyoi's abilities early on, but chooses to let them go. Another thing is that Yukari and Yuyuko early on in the manga did notice from the start as they were in the opening banquet that Miyoi crashed, which proves this manga has a keen eye for details like this. It is abundantly clear that Miyoi's abilities are something that if used in, say, a popular bar in the middle of the human village, would cause mayhem across Gensokyo. In general, Miyoi tries to be subtle with the usage of ability, and attempts to hide from confrontation by making people stop questioning her as much. This is likely why Yukari is staying away from Geidantai, despite congratulating them on their opening, because dropping your guard around Miyoi is a mistake. She can't afford to become one of the many Lotus Eaters within this manga. Miyoi, shockingly enough, has multiple places where you can say she has lunar ties. An example of this within the manga is the juxtaposition of the chapters representing the incident of Toho 20 to Mioi's ability. All of the yokai were completely confused, and the pyramid attacks had a clear parallel to how Mioi's ability worked with the way they forgot everything after getting knocked out. Another place outside of the manga is Kaina. Kaina had recently been outright confirmed to be a lunar experiment, and Kaina is someone who is capable of altering the history of things, an informational ability much like Mioi's, who can alter memories. It is clear that her altering of memories is strange, as no other Zashiki-Warashi are known to have this ability in the series. It would do well for the Lunarians to have a yokai who alters memories through alcohol in the human village bar as well, as they've been in a tough spot with the planned manned moon landing coming up, as well as that, it could be seen as a parallel to when Yukari stole Sake from them in Silent Sinner and Blue, further cementing the idea that Mioi herself could be related to the Lunarians somehow, by abusing the one thing they all know Gensokyo loves, Sake. They could easily infiltrate it in a stealthier manner than when they did in Toho 15. Another strange oddity about Miyoi is how she's the only Zashiki-Warashi in the village who, for some reason, isn't on the same page when it comes to spying on the humans, and how Suika doesn't even know who she is. Even Yukari wasn't someone who knew what was up with Miyoi at the start, judging by her appearance in the opening. Miyoi claims to have lived before Geidantai, yet she also lied about the owner of the store not knowing her. As well as that, the store's owner treats her like she's his granddaughter, which showcases how conflicted Miyui's story is that she had sold to everyone so far. I propose a different theory for why Miyoi is so tight-lipped about her true past. Let us look at what Miyoi is closely. She is a whale, right? An underwater creature, right? The Lunarians are connected to the sea. Remember that. Now, I'm going to blow open everything you thought you knew about Miyoi. Miyoi is not a Zashiki-Warashi, and never was. We can see her clearly hesitating to tell Suika about being a Zashiki-Warashi, and Zune himself never outright confirmed it in the place that he should have. He always specifically neglected to mention her race in a direct manner outside of the manga itself. The only time he did, he added a question mark. That is as blatant as you can get. So, if Miyoi isn't a Zashiki-Warashi, what is she really? She is a Ryugu Warashi, also known as a Ryugu Doji, a child of the Dragon Palace. This explains why Sumiko wasn't detecting her as a Yukai.